What's up, family? Welcome back to AnythingAlexia. If you're new here, my name's Alexia, and today we're gonna be looking at a true story animation. And it's called I Have Perfect Skin Like Glass. Ooh, that's one creepy man in the mirror. Or should I say armoire? Armoire? Before we start today's video, I need you all to smash that like button, smash that like button, smash that like button. Smash like if you've ever had a talking thing on your arm, or smash like if you think I'm crazy. I don't blame you for the second one.
I slammed my bedroom door shut and spit at my best friend's picture.
Okay, aggressive.
I hated her and everyone in my family. Because I had this condition, they thought they could use me. But oh boy, they messed with the wrong girl. Hi, I'm 𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬 from Ukraine.
Hi, 𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬 from Ukraine. I don't think I want to meet you.
I'm the youngest in our family with 3 older brothers. My dad never wanted a girl. He just wanted to raise a team of healthy young boys.
Healthy young boys? Are we looking at the same pictures? Cause those 3 guys be looking like the Hulk minus the green paint job. That don't look natural to me.
He was very proud of himself for being so manly that he had only produced sons. But Mom had always really wanted a daughter. When she gave birth to me, he glared down at my tiny red face and said to my mom, "So, you finally did it, huh? I swear, if she isn't pretty, you're really gonna pay for it." My mom did everything to take really good care of me and make me pretty. Once she came to me and said, "Listen, you're not allowed to eat junk food ever." And she snatched the candy from my hand. When she left, I opened the lower drawer and took another candy. I ate whatever I wanted behind her back. Mom started taking me to salons when I was 5, and she would leave me there. I would regularly get manicures and pedicures. Every day I'd have a routine of face masks and visits to the hair salon.
Every day my mom took me to the spa to get my nails done, hair trimmed, eyelashes curled. It was such a hard life. Getting pampered every day is so draining. Girls out here getting treated like a queen when I could barely get my mama to buy me nail polish. And she wouldn't even paint it on my nails either. Rough times.
But no session would go on for more than 10 minutes before I interrupted it. One time, I pushed the ladies away and yelled at them. I took out my stories. "Read this for me, and I will tell Mom you did a great job." They loved it. One day, I also asked them to start teaching me how to read. They said I was too young, but I said, "Try me." I never knew I was going to learn how to read and write in a hair salon. Dad was delighted that I turned out to be so pretty. He used to carry me around on his shoulders all over the neighborhood to show me off.
Like some big trophy? I don't know, man. I don't like it. What happens if you would have turned out to be not so pretty? Would your daddy have called you an ugly duckling and told you to quack off? Cause I think so.
One day, when I was in the 5th grade, my teacher gave me the role of the princess's dad. When Dad heard about it, he came to the school the next day and yelled at the teacher and insulted her. He made her make me the princess or else. When he left, I told the teacher, "I apologize for Dad's stupidity. I'm going to play the role of the princess's dad because I love it." And I hugged her. There was nothing Dad wouldn't do for his favorite child. But suddenly, all that changed. When I was in the 7th grade, I came back home one day feeling really itchy all over. I looked at the mirror and saw my skin was as red as a rotten tomato. Dad came in, of course without knocking, and saw me. He freaked out and quickly took me to the best skin doctor in the city. After examining me, the doctor said I had a rare condition called dermographism.
Dermo-whatism? Yes, sir. I'm gonna need an explanation, cause that word sounds like something you learn in school and you memorize for only a week just so you ace the test, but then forget about it 2 seconds later because the word was way too long and unnecessary to begin with. The girl has a skin rash and it's red. Why can't we just call it a red skin rash? These doctors be making things complicated.
Dermographism, which means skin writing. That's because I could etch my name into my skin using only the pressure of a fingernail.
This girl got a whole Etch-a-Sketch on her arm? And not only her arm, her whole body. Toys R Us who? Cause you got yourself a toy for life.
Said there was no reason for why it might flare up at times, and there was really no cure for it. When we left the clinic, I told Dad, "Don't worry, Dad. I will read about this disease and find ways to fix this." Dad looked at me with disgust and said he didn't want a daughter like me. I wished Mom would just slap him, or one of my brothers would tell him he's being a complete jerk, but nothing happened. Dad just turned away and left the house. Why was Dad a terrible piece of ugh? I swore to always keep my condition a secret. I couldn't trust anyone with it, except my best friend Monica. You should come over tonight so we can read about this disease together. When Dad saw her, he hugged her. Your parents must be so proud to have such a beautiful daughter. My brothers were even more ridiculous. They knew she was really rich, and my youngest brother kept asking her how many servants she had. The eldest kept hitting on her, and when she told him to stop, he said he would if she paid him $100. I threw my shoe at him and told him he was a pig. I told them all to shut up and took Monica's hand and led her to my room.
Excuse me, sir. You can't just be a horrible person and then say that you'll stop if she pays you money? Like what? That's not how it works. And that's also what we call blackmail. That's illegal.
We both read about the disease for days and found nothing. When I got to middle school, I had eyes only for one boy, Elon. Once, we were sitting in the library. I noticed my hands had started to turn a little red. Feeling alarmed, I let go, but suddenly, Elon pulled me in by the waist and kissed me. Just then, I saw Monica. She was standing there, staring at me with the most hateful expression. She came to me with a manic look and suddenly grabbed my wrist. Instantly, big red welts started to appear. She snatched the friendship bracelet she'd given me, sending beads flying everywhere. How could you even think of going out with Elon when you knew he's my dream? I hate you. I just stared at her, stunned. How could I possibly know? You've never said a word. You need to stop seeing him or I'll tell him about your secret. Oh, how could she? I said, fine, I will stop seeing him. She instantly smiled and hugged me tight, like a psycho. Of course, I wasn't going to stop seeing Elon. Monica wasn't the boss of me. I started dating him in secret.
Ooh, it's getting scandalous.
I started dating him in secret. In the school hallways, I would simply walk past him like he didn't exist. But we would meet up outside later every day, and I was fast falling in love. One day, Elon and I decided to skip gym class and meet at the big tree in the schoolyard. Elon had just pulled me in for a kiss when I felt someone drag me away by my shirt. I turned around to see Monica. And this time, she just went insane. She kept shouting, liar, liar, as she pinched and poked my arms. Thick red rashes were popping up like crazy all over my skin. Elon stepped back, looking horrified. Look, Elon, she's a complete freak. I felt helpless at first, but then I felt a wave of fury rise inside me. I slapped her hard across the cheek and ran off. Elon kept texting me and said he couldn't care less about my allergies. All he wanted was to see me. I didn't reply to any of his calls or messages. One night, I heard a gentle tapping on my window, and I pushed back the curtains to see that it was Elon.
Girl, what are you doing? The guy clearly loves you. He doesn't care about your skin condition. He's showing up at your house to see you. I think he's a real one. Better than that fake manipulative friend you got. If anyone deserves to be cut out of your life, it's her.
Please, leave me alone, Elon. You deserve someone much better. I'm not leaving until you talk to me, Lulia. He just wouldn't go away, no matter how hard I tried. I was afraid he'd wake someone up, so I let him in. He took my hands and looked at me earnestly. Lulia, there isn't a thing about you that could make me love you any less. My heart completely melted, and I let him stay with me for the night. Suddenly, we heard some noises downstairs, and Elon quickly snuck out. A few moments later, I heard a knocking on the window. I smiled and ran to open it, but when I parted the curtain, I almost screamed and fell back in horror. It was Monica. What do you think you're doing here, you witch? I'm here to warn you, that boy is mine. I'm not sharing him with anyone. You better break up with him or else. I locked the window and shut the curtains in her face. Thankfully, it seemed like she'd left. But man, the girl was turning into a complete nut job. The next day in school, I could see Monica by the lockers giving me a deathly glare. I also spotted Elon smiling and waving at me. If she thought I was scared of her, she was mistaken. I ran up to him, grabbed his face, and gave him a long kiss. When I looked up, she had disappeared. What was this psycho up to? Later that day in art class, I was painting away my self-portrait when suddenly I felt a dash of cold water on my back. I gasped, and to my horror, I saw that my painting was completely ruined. That's so much better, actually. Now it looks more like you, a freak. I just snapped. I turned around and was about to throw a tin of paint in Monica's face, but I stopped when I saw the teacher coming.
This girl Monica's like a freaking cockroach. It doesn't matter how many times you try and get rid of it, toss it out, or how many times you try and smush it down and take the life out of that thing. Because eventually, it's just gonna somehow creep its way back into your life and find you and never leave. That's called a psychopath and a stalker.
My eyes, my eyes. This monster is out of control. What? I didn't even touch her. The art teacher swooped down in no time and started yelling at me. Lulia, I will not stand for this behavior. How could you hurt the most gentle girl in class? She wouldn't listen to a word I said. I kept pointing to my ruined work, but she kept on insulting me and said I'd been raised by savages. I'd just had it. Shut up, you idiot. I know her daddy's donation set up this art studio. That's the only reason you're taking her side. Of course, I ended up in the principal's office and waited while she called my parents. As soon as I saw Dad walk into the office instead of Mom, I just knew I was ruined. He'd probably ground me for life. The principal pursed her lips. We are shocked that any student of ours would behave like this. She has no respect for anyone and is a disgrace to this school and to you. I was sure my dad would agree with her. He rose up from his chair and punched the table. No one talks about my daughter this way. I'll make sure you regret it. She's the smartest girl you will ever meet. And he took me by the arm and we left. On our way home, he finally looked at me directly after such a long time and said, Don't ever give up on what you want. Be strong and keep fighting. And that was the last time I ever saw Dad. By the time I woke up the next morning, he had already packed all his bags and left for good. Mom, where did Dad go? My stupid brother scowled at me. You finally drove him away. It's your stupid condition that made him so depressed. He couldn't handle having a broken daughter anymore. Mom banged her glass on the table. Shut up and stop treating your sister that way. All you men are jerks. He left because he's in love with a rich woman who's 15 years older than him. I was stunned. Dad was so confusing. I never really understood him at all. Mom started dating a new man and looked happier than I'd ever seen her. She was making an effort to look good, and I was happy for her. But my brothers weren't happy about it. 2 of them left the house, and the youngest stayed because he was still in school.
Man, what is even going on in this story? The dad hates the daughter. He loves the daughter. He hates the daughter again. He loves the wife. The wife hates him. He goes off with another wife. I'm confused. Is the dad a good guy or not? And when are the brothers gonna stop being jerks? Because they're annoying.
Didn't miss Dad all that much, really. But his last words were stuck in my head. I kept going out with Elon openly, and Monica stayed out of my way since that day. When I got to high school, though, my condition got much worse. My allergy would flare up at any time. People started to notice and would point or whisper, so I started wearing long-sleeve shirts and pants to hide my skin. One day, Elon came up to me beaming. Hey, babe, you're coming over to dinner tonight. My place. I can't wait for my parents to meet you. I told him I wasn't sure if I was ready, but eventually I agreed. The minute I stepped into his house, his mom's face froze mid-smile, and she looked at me like I was a demon. Elon, what's that on her neck and arms? She's disgusting.
Okay, Mama. Please don't hold back.
What a rude woman she was. Mom, what is wrong with you? You want to keep seeing her? Fine, but you can have another girlfriend, can't you? How about that beautiful rich one who comes here often? What's her name? Yeah, that Monica.
Wait, what? The rude rich girl who comes here often as in her best friend? Oh, no. Is Elon cheating on my girl? 'Cause I think so.
I couldn't believe my ears. What a cheater. Elon turned to me and said he could explain, but I just slapped him and left. I was so heartbroken and angry at this betrayal. I never spoke to Elon again. He tried approaching me at school a couple of times, but I always rejected him. One day, I was sitting alone on the bleachers when a handsome jock came and sat next to me. Hey, I need some help with math. Will you be my tutor? I knew exactly who he was, even if he didn't know me. Yes, of course. It's the best revenge ever. What revenge? Oh, never mind. Let's start now? We got closer over time and started going out. One day, Sean invited me over for dinner at his place. As soon as I entered the house, I spotted Monica on the stairs, staring at me in complete shock. This was priceless. What are you doing here? Oh, didn't your brother tell you? I'm his girlfriend. You can't go out with her. She's a big freak. Break up with her now. Luckily, Sean's parents walked in just then and seemed horrified by Monica's behavior. Her dad told her to shut up and go to her room. She stormed off in a rage. Sean's parents were so lovely. I had no idea how they'd raised a witch like Monica, but I decided to try and mend things with her.
Mend things with the girl who your boyfriend cheated on you with? Sis? I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, it's one thing to mend things with your brother if he said a bad word to you. You mend things with your dog if he accidentally bit you. But mending things with the girl who took away the love of your life? I don't think so.
And went to her room after dinner. Monica was lying on the bed and didn't even turn around to look at me. I sat down and said, "Look, Monica, you and I used to be best friends once. Can we just start over? I forgive you for everything you did to me. Who asked for your forgiveness?" And in a flash, she'd turned to pounce on me like a wildcat. Before she could hurt me, Sean barged in and pulled her away from me. "Thank you for saving me from your crazy sister." And I started kissing him just to make Monica angry. She screamed in anger and left her own room. Weeks passed and I graduated from high school with honors. I'd never meant to fall in love with Sean, but I had over this time we'd been dating. One day, my youngest brother came to me and asked me to ask Sean for money. What? I won't do that. I'm not a gold digger, you moron. We got into an argument for an hour until he tried to attack me. I threw a plate at him, but it missed his face by inches.
Okay, I've decided that all of y'all are crazy. Attacking each other, throwing stuff at each other. Y'all need to calm down. Pop open a soda can, turn on the TV, because it's not that serious.
Fine. I know what I'm going to do. The next day, Sean called me to tell me that my brother was caught last night trying to steal Sean's car. Oh my God, that was so embarrassing. He told me he wasn't going to send him to jail for me. When my brother came home, I yelled at him. He said that he'd had enough of me and Mom and he left to live with Dad. Whatever. At least I had Sean. We were headed to different colleges, and we promised that we would make a long-distance relationship work. But almost as soon as I left, it got really difficult to get a hold of him. He'd mostly reject my calls and say he was busy, but I could see from his Instagram account that he was partying hard. Then he wouldn't even reply to my messages for weeks. When he finally did, it was to say that he wanted to break up with me because long distance was too hard. Plus, he thought that me and my family were weird and crazy. What a jerk. I was pretty sure he'd found some bimbo. I stopped dating for a whole year and would turn down any offers by guys to go out. I wanted to do well at university so I could make something of myself. One day, I walked into a lecture hall and I couldn't believe my eyes. I never thought I'd ever see him again. It was Elon. He came and sat beside me and said he deserved one chance to explain himself. He said that he never loved Monica, and she kept stalking him and showing up at his place, but he'd always rejected her. He'd wanted to try talking to me again, but by then I was seeing Sean. We started dating once more, and Elon decided to tell his parents. He called his mom, and she went berserk over the phone. I could hear her shouting, "There is no way you can ever bring that girl to my home." "Fine, Mom, then I guess I won't ever be coming home too." And with that, he hung up. After a year of dating, we got married. There was no one at the ceremony except the two of us, and we didn't care. We didn't need anyone ruining our happiness. 4 months after the wedding, I called up Mom to tell her I was married and was pregnant. She seemed delighted for me, but said she was too busy with her new husband to come see me.
Dang, that's cold.
Elon and I were blessed with a lovely baby girl, Anastasia, and we are making sure that we teach her to always love herself.
I'm so confused. I guess Elon's not a cheater, but he was actually the victim of his stalker named Monica, aka Lulia's ex-best friend. And Lulia was chill with her mom, but not with her brothers and dad. And she never saw the dad again, but now the mom is too busy to come see her. And she didn't get an invite to the wedding. Julian's parents hate him now. And now Elon and Lulia are married with a child. Oh my gosh, family. This story was kind of exhausting, but nonetheless, I'm happy that they're happy. Let me know in the comments down below if you liked this video, and if you did, smash like, and if you want to join the family, hit that subscribe button and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all in the next video.